noticed that like I could not hold my pee. Like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So from the title you already know this is a story time about how I found out I was pregnant. Just to start off, let's say hi to baby Cairo. My belly right now, I'll be 26 weeks tomorrow. We are in month 6? I think it's 6. That's baby Cairo. So excited for him. I keep saying that because we are. Let's get into the video. So I found out I was pregnant when I was 4 weeks. That is about 2 weeks after it really happened. So the way pregnancy weeks are set up, they count the week that your period ended. So it goes, your period ends 2 weeks after you ovulate, and then that is when you get pregnant. 2 weeks after you get pregnant. So and that happens from ovulation. 2 weeks after that you would get your period or miss it if you're pregnant. In my case, I missed it clearly. Let's start like right before I got pregnant. So right before I got pregnant, I noticed that like I could not hold my pee. Like I could not hold my pee for the life of me. I was at work this one day, had to be real, I wouldn't even say really bad. I just had to pee. So walking to the bathroom, whatever, and I felt it like having to come down like more. And then I got to the bathroom, whatever, taking off my pants. I just could not hold it, and like sprinkles of pee were just like coming down. Like, what's going on with me? And that happened to me 2 days in a row. I feel like I say like a lot of TMI stuff on here now, but again, that's what you're here for. That was like one thing that made me think like, what the heck is going on? Why can't I hold my pee? Like, do I need to go to the doctor or something like that? But like within the next week or so, not week or so, like I noticed that it stopped a week or so later. Like it only happened for those 2 days, and it was like scary and gross to me, but like I was fine. So now let's get to when my period was supposed to come. So my period was supposed to come, and I told my boyfriend, like, babe, I'm late. I was probably like 3 days late at that point. And usually my period comes like clockwork, so obviously I'm expecting it to be there. I noticed spotting in my underwear, and my mind is like, okay, duh, it's coming. I'm being dramatic. It's not pregnancy. How could it be pregnancy? That's ridiculous. That's how I am in my head, but like when I'm speaking to my boyfriend, it's a different thing. Like I'm like panicking to my boyfriend. This is like feed off of his energy. Like if he would have panicked with me, I definitely would have thought, but he didn't. He's like, oh, just wait a week, babe. Wait a week after you're supposed to get it, and then we'll see then. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait a week. 4th of July comes. I was extremely like emotional this day. Like I'm already extremely emotional. Ask my boyfriend. We went to one of his coworkers' barbecue things. It was really nice, but I was just taking things like very hard. He was talking to another one of his female coworkers or whatever, and they were laughing and blah 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 blah. And I'm just looking at him like, okay. It was just like upsetting me more than normal. He like turned to just like talk to me for a second or like touch my leg, and I'm just like, please don't touch me. Mind you, I was also drinking this night, so that adds like insult to injury. But yeah, so I didn't know I was pregnant at this point. I was drinking that night, plus being pregnant and hormonal. By the end of the night, I went a little crazy on him. I broke up with him. It was a bad breakup. It was a very, very, very bad breakup. and I'm sorry. I thought I was done with him. I'm like, whatever, I hate him, he's the worst, whatever. Okay, like last night was a little crazy. I was being a little crazy. Period's still not here. Let's just rule this out, right? But just to be 100%, let's do it. Let's take a test. So, got my little clear blue, take it out the pack. I had already had it from like once before, you know. I'm like, let's just rule it out. I'm not even like thinking possible, like I'm thinking it's possible because I don't have my period, not because like I'm like, oh my god, maybe I'm pregnant. Like, no, let's just rule it out. In hindsight, like I would have really wanted to do it with my boyfriend there, but we were on like such bad terms from the night before. There was no way in hell. So went to my bathroom, peed, set it up. It was a digital test, so I put it upside down first. So I put it upside down, waited like 2 seconds, and I'm like the most impatient person in the world. So 2 seconds later, I flipped it over and it had already said pregnant. I was like, whoa. Whoa. Shocked isn't even the word. Why did these things have to happen for me to finally take the test and then realize that I am pregnant and be on these terms with my boyfriend, and what the heck? So when I realized, I was like shocked. Then I started laughing, like, no way, like there's no way, like what is wrong with you? That can't be correct. And then I got like really serious. My phone stopped recording. Super serious, and then like I just cried on my kitchen floor for about a minute. And then I was like, okay, let me tell somebody. My sister was home, she was sleeping at the time. I went into the room and I woke her up, or tried to wake her up. I'm like, bro, wake up. I'm pushing her, bro, wake up. She's like, why, like get off of me. And then I show her the test. Like I put the test near her face. Gross now that I say that, because I just peed on it, but, and then she looks at it and she's like, her whole face just like lights up, like what the heck. The next person I called was my aunt and my best friend Brittany. Then I was like, okay, whatever decision I make about this pregnancy, I cannot make it alone. Like I can't make that choice by myself, on like between Michaela and I, my boyfriend and I. So I just decided like I have to tell him. Even if we are on bad terms, even if we decide not to be together, even if we decide not to have the baby, he has to know. I texted him, I'm like, we need to talk. And he's just like, okay. He was over me at this point. He's like, okay. I'm like, can you meet me by my job tomorrow? I get off at 3. He's like, okay. He meets me at my job. So the next day comes and I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, how do I say this? Like, I know I have to like apologize first before I even get into all that. That needs to be hashed out before I even think about talking about this other part. Even if we're not together by the end of the conversation. That's just how it has to go. So I told him, like, I'm so sorry about the night before. I was being irrational. I also didn't like how you were acting, but I was also being very irrational. So at the end of the conversation, we were just like, okay, we weren't together again. Like, we both made that very clear that, like, you know, maybe right now was not the time for us. At the end of the conversation, I told him, like, I have something for you. And he's like, what do you mean you have something for me? Still over me. But I gave him like this little black box. It was like a watch box or whatever. Inside of it was the test with like glitter all over it and inside the box. So handed it to him. He was like, no way. And I'm just like watching him, just watching his reaction. At first he's just like, there's no way. He takes a walk. We're still by my job at this point. takes a walk around like the plaza area, and comes back and looks at me. He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm serious. Like I'm not. I have no reason to lie. Can you see this here?" He's just like, "Wow." And I was like, "Yeah, wow is right." And then I told him, like, most likely part of the reason why I was so irrational the night before, or 2 nights before, because that was 2 days after, was because I'm pregnant and drunk. So yeah, that was a lot. So, you know, we decided that things needed to be talked out more, and that we should be together, like, for the sake of our baby. Things were clearly taken out of proportion and could be worked out, so that's what we did. But yeah, here we are now, happy. I'm, like I said, 26 weeks tomorrow. Super excited. We're apartment hunting. We're just, like, overall really excited about everything. So we'll see how things go. And I'll just keep updating you guys because this is fun and I really like it. Catch you guys next time. I'll see you guys later. Bye.